Just keep your eyes closed. Or you can open your eyes, whichever way you feel comfortable. But please, see the truth of every statement I am sharing. You are, just relax and listen. Before I am speaking something, the mouth, the organ of speech, by itself cannot make any noise unless I wish it. Just because you are sitting down with your mouth open, that does not mean words will come out of it. Speaking is an effort. You must choose to speak. As when I must choose to speak, please listen. You listen to what I say. When I say you listen, your ears have the capacity to listen. The ears will listen to the words, sounds, but ears themselves have no sound. The instrument, the sense organ called ears, produces no sound. There are million sounds outside, but not a single sound is created by your ears. Ears are silent, quiet. The mouth, with the help of the tongue, can produce a lot of words or sounds, but there is no noise, no sound in your tongue. Eyes see all the forms, space, air, fire, water, earth, the jungles, mountains, all the landscape, birds of many kinds, animals of many kinds. But in the eyes, by itself, there is no sight. Eyes have the capacity to see all different forms and colors, sights of infinite kinds. But in the eyes, by itself, there is not a single sight. Like with a musical instrument, you can produce million sounds, but the musical instrument itself is absolutely quiet. The veena, the violin, the flute, the drums kept in your house do not produce their own noise. Body, with all the instruments in it, the ears, the skin, the eyes, the tongue, the nose, the whole physical body by itself cannot produce any type of sight, sound, touch. You have your legs, they don't walk by themselves. You have your hands, they don't move by themselves. You choose to speak, walk, use your hand or any limbs in your physical body. Instruments, musical instruments, by themselves do not produce any music. Ajivin. All the sounds come from outside. Ears do not produce a sound. All the sights are outside. Eyes do not produce the sight. All the tastes come from outside. The tongue by itself doesn't produce any taste. Nose by itself doesn't produce any fragrance. Direct your attention within. In silence consciousness, all thoughts are created. All thoughts are appearing, disappearing. Yourself, the awareness, doesn't produce a thought all by itself. In the vast space outside, in the expansive blue sky, all the clouds appear. The space doesn't create a single cloud. In the sky of consciousness, silence, awareness, who you are. All the thoughts appear in your self-awareness. Between the space and the clouds, there is no conflict. Space remains unaffected by the clouds that come in it or disappear in it. between the silence of one kind and the sounds of million kinds, there is no conflict. Silence remains silence all times. Between the silence and the sounds, there is no conflict. Silence never resists any sound to appear, whether it is the whisper or the sound of a thunder, the sound of a waterfall, or a little spring flowing by. Silence resists no sounds. Between the silence and all sounds, there is no conflict. In the listener, the individual, who resists the sounds, craves for silence. Please listen. The ears do not resist any sound. They report every type of sound, musical, disturbing, pandemonium, tiny whispers to roaring tiger. The ears report every sound. No resistance, no conflict. Eyes report all forms and colors. Between the eyes and what they see, there is no conflict. It is I, the seer, who doesn't want to see, resists the sight. The listener, the eye, resists the sound. As when outside, so also within. In the space of consciousness, Chidakasa, Chidambaram. In Chit Ambara, space of consciousness, million clouds of thought appear to disappear. Awareness, call it consciousness, Chetana, Atma, Self, has no resistance to any type of thought. A single thought or a cloud of thoughts, emotions, there is no conflict, no resistance between space of consciousness in the sky of awareness. The clouds of thought appear to disappear. There is no resistance, no conflict. I thought resists a thought. The I thought craves for silence. Watch it. Recognize it. As you sit down, friends, meditation effortless. silence, effortless. To be silent, what should you speak? What must you speak? What sounds must you produce to be the silence? What sounds you must listen to be the silence? You don't have to either speak, produce a sound, or listen to a sound. You don't need a speech, you don't need a sound for the silence to be. So also with it. You don't need a thought, you don't need a memory of any kind for the consciousness to be. For you to be the meditation, the stillness, the awareness. No thought of any kind is needed. Ajivin. No sound of any kind is needed for the silence to exist. No speech of any kind, any language. No sound, nothing is needed for silence to exist. If you appreciate that, you also should appreciate Ajivin, no sound is needed for the silence to be. No sound can ever disturb the silence that is. Sounds happen in the womb of silence. Sounds cannot disturb or create the silence. All thoughts, memories, sensations, perceptions of every kind, impressions, happen in silence, awareness, yourself. No thoughts, no memories, no perception, no sensation can create yourself, the consciousness, nor can it disturb. Create any sense of agitation. You are always the stillness, awareness, the meditation. Nisabdam, nispandam, samupasmahe. Nishabdam, where there is no sound of any kind. nispandam, no spandanam, no throbbing of any kind. You can say, what the silence is not, it is not a sound, nishabdam. There is no spandana, throbbing, movement of any kind, nispandam. Nischalam, no chalanam, no movement of any kind. But you can never say what it is. You can say what it is not. What it is defies description. It's not a sound. It's not a movement. It's not a vibration of any kind. What it is. Can never be described. Buddhigrahayam atindriyam, as Bhagavad Gita will say. You can grasp it, you are it. But no sense organ can ever perceive it. Eyes can see the object. Eyes cannot see the thought of the object. What to talk of eye of the eyes, the awareness. The eyes can see the objects, forms and colors of all kinds. But eyes have no access to the realm of thoughts. The realm of thoughts, like thought clouds, appear in space of consciousness. The thought cloud doesn't create the space of consciousness. Thought clouds happen in consciousness. Eyes, which are incapable of seeing the thoughts they help to create, how are they going to be aware of consciousness, in whose presence eyes see, ears hear, tongue tastes, nose smells, and in whose presence all that you hear appears as a thought. All that you touch, sensation of touches of all kinds, appear, in whose presence the sights of all kinds, the forms and colors, their thoughts appear. Your sense organs can perceive the object. All in the presence of yourself, the awareness. The thoughts are created, no sense organ can see it, hear it, touch it, taste it, smell it. All the thoughts happen in yourself, always in meditation. Please see that, friends. Just see this beautiful arrangement. You call it as Ishvara Srishti, the creation as it is. The ears are there, meant to listen to the sounds, not to create silence. Neither the ears can grasp the consciousness. Eyes are there to see the forms, colors of all kinds. Eyes are not there to create or grasp the consciousness. The blind is conscious. If eyes have to create the consciousness, the blind will be unconscious. If the sounds, the ears have to create the consciousness, the deaf will be unconscious. If your speeches are to produce the stillness, consciousness, the mute, the dumb, be unconscious. But see the reality, the truth that you are. As Upanishads will say, apani padoyam achintya shakti, pashyami achakshuhu, srunomi akarnaha. Akarnaha srunomi, I have no ears, but I am conscious of all that the ears hear. Achakshu, no eyes, pashyami, conscious of all that the eyes see or do not see. Apanipada, no hands, no legs. Achintya Shakti, incomprehensible, unimaginable power, the strength of infinity kind. You have no hands, no legs. You are like a pangu. No hands, no legs. No limbs, yet unimaginable power. Always in meditation. Shivoham, Shivoham. The changeless, ever existent awareness. It's always the same. In childhood, youth, old age, waking, dream, deep sleep, morning, noon, evening, the dawn and the dusk, day and the night, the past, the present and future. Always remains the same. Look at yourself and see that. What is that something in you which remains always the same? No aging, no changing, no movement of any kind, no perception, no sensation, no impression, no thought, no memories, no ideas. Yet always remains the same. as you listen to it. Two things can happen. If you are conscious, aware, you will effortlessly revel in yourself. If you are not used to this, do not understand this, you shall go to sleep also. Because very peaceful, no sound of any kind, no touch, no taste, no smell, no sight. You can lull into deep sleep. So in the beginning stages, when you are exposing yourself to this knowledge, sometimes listening itself can tire you. Thinking itself can tire you. And you go into a deep sleep. If it happens, don't worry about it. Sleep begins, sleep ends. Awareness, eternally awake. No beginning, no end. Just see that point. Sound, my speech, begins, ends. My not speaking also begins and ends. But silence, beginningless, endless. Your waking begins and ends. Your sleep also begins and ends. Consciousness, beginningless, endless. It is in waking, in a dream, in a deep sleep. It is there in the presence of thought. It is there in the absence of thought. It is there in the presence of sound. It is there in the presence of absence of sound. It is there when you are listening. It is there when you are not listening. If seeing, listening, touching, tasting are activities of some kind or the other, consciousness yourself is not an activity. You don't need a sense organ to be conscious. To be the consciousness, you don't need sense organ. To listen to a sound, you shall need the ears. To be conscious, you don't need ears. To have a touch sensation, softness, hardness, hot or cold, you need your skin. Consciousness is not a sensation needing the skin to report. A leprosy patient who has lost all its sensation of touch is conscious to know it has lost the sensation. A sensation is lost. Consciousness ever existing. That is why, friends, by habit, by wrong training, education, practice, when you unconsciously equate sensations with happiness, you become so miserable that you can't listen anymore, you cannot touch, you cannot taste, you cannot smell, you cannot see, you cannot speak, you cannot lift anything by your hands, you cannot walk, you cannot excrete, procreate. Human beings utterly devastated, all because you have equated sensation with happiness. Who you are is not a sensation. Always in meditation, dhyana swarupa, anubhava swarupa, shivoham, shivoham. You are meditation. Just see that, friends. Always, at all times, all places, in all conditions. Then living becomes a meditation. You are always in meditation, who you are, and living through all changes. To live a life, we need to maintain our body. To see, to hear, to taste, to touch, we need to maintain your sense organs. We need to have all the thoughts and memories in order to act in life. But to be who you are, self the awareness, no conditions apply. You can't say it should be morning or night, day or night, light or darkness. Aditya Varnam Tamasav Parastat. Is as much shining in the light, that much shining in the darkness. Aditya Varnam Tamasastu Pare. No light illumines it, no darkness can cover it, dismiss it. It illumines the light, illumines the darkness. Illumines the presence of a sensation, illumines its absence. no conditions apply. You can be child, you can be young, you can be old. You can be man or woman, believer, non-believer, young or old. In every condition, you are the unconditional self, the awareness. Name it God if you choose. Ahamatma Gudakesha Sarvabhutasaya Sthita. Hey Arjuna, I am the self in all the beings. Aham Adischa Madhyamcha Bhutanam Antarevacha. I am the beginning, I am the middle, I am the end. We all are part of that beginningless, endless, all-pervasive, infinite existence. So be the changeless, live with changes. Be the immortal, enjoy mortality. Be the bliss absolute, enjoy every changing sensation called life. So at no time you are ever affected by any type of changing perception, sensation or thoughts. You are the changeless in and through all changes. Shivoham, Shivoham. Always in meditation. Please see that, friends. The so-called meditation class ends. Meditation doesn't end. You brought your body here, you kept your eyes closed, you listened to it. All these are activities. Now the class comes to an end. No more I will speak, no more you shall listen, formally. But that doesn't mean meditation ends. No. Speaking ends, listening ends, meditation continues. You are here in meditation. Get up, meditation. Walk out, meditation. See, hear, taste, touch, meditation. Always in meditation. But activities continue. That's why life is such a blessing. Yadyat karma karomi tattadakhilam shambho tavaradhanam. O Lord, whatever is done through me is your worship. That is the meditation. This is so beautiful. This is our tradition, Upanishads, Vedas, meant for human being everywhere, all times, all places. It has no restrictions of this religion, that religion, man or woman, black or white, young or old. No. Jati, niti, kula, gotra, duragam. Is beyond jati, niti, kula, gotra. No caste, no creed, no sex, no race, no nothing. Nama, rupa, guna, dosa, parjitam. Free from every name and form. No limitations of name and form. Nameless, formless, absolute. Deshakala vishaya ativarti yat brahma. That which is existing at all times, all places, all conditions. If you want to name it, Brahman, Tattvamasi, that you are iti, Atmani bhavaya. May you always be that. So this is your reality, your nature. Play the roles, husband, wife, father, mother, son, daughter, rich, poor, healthy, sick, living, dying. but immortal. Today hungry, tomorrow a lot of food. Today very rich, tomorrow everything is lost. So what? You are never ever lost. You enjoy living, enjoy dying. Poverty, prosperity. Dukhe sukhe dukhe same krutva. Lava lavo jaya jayo. Sukhava dukkhava. Pleasant or painful experiences. Sensations. Lava, alava, profit, loss, victory, defeat. It doesn't matter. All are different conditions. You are unconditional truth, the reality. So please see that, friends. Thank you. So maintain that awareness. When you go back home, today is the last class. You go back home, continue. Not that in ashram you are in meditation, in home you are agitation. No. Everywhere, same reality, all times, all places, all conditions. You are listening directly to here. Some people are listening in the web, thousands and thousands of miles away. All are one and the same. Where you are, the place is different. The time is different. Time here is 7:40, 7:45. Somewhere it is already night, 10 o'clock daytime. Somewhere early morning, somewhere midnight. The whole world has got different time zone, but not different consciousness zone. There are no different meditation zone. So don't put people into trip. Exotic meditation, ordinary meditation, open eye meditation, close eye meditation, sensation of this light and sound and the firework inside. Why are you doing that? There are time zones, different time zone, different places, different sensations, but there is no different timeless zone. There is no different consciousness zone. That is same at all times, all places. Be free, happy, contented, blessed in life. Because that's what we are. Whether you like it or not, be that. We shall see. Meet at 10:30. Thank you very much. Have a nice time. Mahara.